In today's gospel, Jesus tells us about the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Uh, Lazarus was a very poor man, lacks a lot of things, and would gladly eat scraps. And then we have the rich man, who have everything. Wasn't particularly a bad person, according to the gospel. But when they both died, the rich man ended in hell, meaning that his heart wasn't meant for heaven. Uh, and reading between the lines, we also see that while he did not do evil things necessarily, nothing in the gospel also tells us that he did good things. In fact, he failed to help Lazarus. And so he was asking God if someone can talk to his relatives so that they can change their ways and hopefully not get into hell. And God refused, telling them that nothing will change their ways. If they did not listen to Moses or the other prophets, even if someone rises from the dead after 3 days, they will not listen. And some of us might think, well, I don't think so. I think they will listen. But you see, they might probably do. But that is not the listening that Jesus is talking about in this parable. You see, um, one of the reflections of Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, uh, who became Pope Benedict XVI, Cardinal Ratzinger wrote The Way of the Cross. And one of his reflections there is, why didn't Jesus uh, show his power, show his godhood? And the answer that Cardinal Ratzinger offers us is because Jesus wants to show us that it is not power that changes people, but love, but the heart. Because power will change the action of the person, but not his or her heart. And it is that heart which becomes the key to heaven. Yes, people might change when they see power, when they are afraid. But how long that will last is going to be very short or very temporal. Even if someone who rises from the dead talks to them, if their reason is fear, which is why they will change, when the opportunity arises, they will not necessarily change. And that is why in the second gospel, um, Paul reminds Timothy that uh, a man of God pursue righteousness, devotion, faith, love, patience, and gentleness. They compete well for the faith. They pursue righteousness. They do not pursue, uh, you know, whatever it is that will gratify them. In other words, they look for God, not self-gratification. And that is why, even if the dead rise, they will not change. Brothers and sisters, why are you following God? Why are you uh, living the way that you live? Is it because you are looking at demanding something from God? Or is it because you are pursuing God Himself? Are you pursuing righteousness itself? Or are you just doing things just so that you think you can demand God to give you heaven and not hell? God asks love, not just mere obedience, but obedience that flows from the heart.